Well, this is Daryl Martin with ApexInvesting.com. This is a Be the Sniper or Be the Target webinar. We're going to talk about elevators and how to use them to snipe the markets. It's your choice. They're going to be the sniper or the target. If you want to be the sniper, check us out at ApexInvesting.com/sniper. Okay? ApexInvesting.com/sniper. Actually, sorry, ApexInvesting.com/bootcamp. So, sniper is once you've already been a member. So go to ApexInvesting.com/bootcamp for a free month to get access to our trade room, our trading tools, and our training. All right, so with that, throw up the disclosures, and let's talk about setup 8, elevators. All right? So on the elevators, we got our 7 steps, right? We always have 7 steps to sniper trading systems. Okay? And hopefully you have these memorized by now. You're identifying the target. You're identifying the pattern. You're identifying any obstructions in the way. You'll identify your entry price, your exit price, if you need to take cover, like tightening it up or adjusting your entry or exit, and then identifying the opportunity to let it trail, such as using the simplicity methods. So on identifying the target, here's what you're looking for. It's really simple. It's something that a lot of y'all have got good at identifying. You're looking for the first 3-bar coil chop in a trend. Okay, the first 3-bar coil chop in a trend, like down, or up, down, up. So when the markets went down and now it's going up, you're looking for the first one. Okay? You are not looking for one that's more than 3 bars of coil chop. If the setup happens to happen on the 5th bar or 4th bar or 8th bar coil chop, the trade is invalid. Make sense so far? 3-bar coil chop. Okay, so what I'm talking about literally is up, down, up. Or down, up, down. Real simple. So you're actually looking for coil chop. Now, we avoid coil chop in trading. But when it is a elevator trade, then we can take it. So what are we going to want in this coil chop to make it an actual coil chop trade that we'll take? When there is a cluster on the 2nd or 3rd bar of the coil chop, that is a requirement. Okay? If you have double clusters, it is okay. You are allowed to have double clusters in coil chop. And you need a TX on the 3rd bar of the coil chop with a mini magnet or paw. So you need a cluster on the 2nd or 3rd bar, and you need a TX on the 3rd bar with a mini magnet or paw. Some tips for you. The best setups. The best setups, the reversal bar that starts the trend has a TX on it. Okay? A trapped X box on it. It's even better if the elevator is early in the trend versus like way, way down. It's even better if it's pushing off of a stack or strong level. And if it's coming off a higher, higher, lower, low in a clean trend. And I'll show you what I mean by those better tips, because I'm going to show you some ideal ones and some not so ideal ones that still work out, but I'm going to show you what the ideal ones look like as well. Okay? So we want a cluster on the 2nd or 3rd bar, and we want a TX on the 3rd bar with a mini magnet or paw. That's what you're looking for. Coil, cluster on 2nd or 3rd bar, TX with a mini magnet or paw on the 3rd bar. So, as an example, right here we got up, down, up. Okay, that's coil chop. We have a cluster on the 2nd and 3rd bar, which is fine because remember, double clusters don't matter on this trade. And we got a trapped X box with a paw, so therefore we have a long trade. Does everybody see that? Like we're on the same page? Making sure everybody sees it. Okay. Now, this is a good setup, especially with having all these clusters right here. It's going to be a resistance level. Ideally, it wouldn't have had all this oscillation right here. That didn't make it bad. It's just not as perfect. We'll go over the entries in a second. Right now, you need to identify the target. Okay? Yep, that's a long. Now, here we go. Now we have this one trended down, and right after, which is excellent. I mean, immediately in the trend, you got up, down, up, with the trapped X box, with the paw. And it takes off. Okay, so we just had a trend. Right as it turns around, we get an elevator. That's excellent. And it takes off. Okay, so we had 2 clusters on this. We had a whole bunch of clusters going on. 2 clusters on this one. Trapped X box and a paw with Quilt Shop. Going for the long. So here's one in a downtrend. So this one went up, almost made a higher high, which is excellent, like right near the high. Trended down. Then up. Then down. Okay? And if we look at what we got a cluster. We have a trapped X box with a paw for the down move. So we had 4 bars going in one direction, and then it turned around and went the other direction. So basically meaning a trend, meaning going the opposite direction as it was going before. Okay? So again, going the opposite direction as it was going before. So like this was going up, and now it's going down. This one was going down, now it's going up. This one's going up, or it's going down, and now it's going up. This one went way down, and then we got a up, down, up. So we got a Quilt Shop, we got a cluster, we got a trapped X box with a mini magnet and long. Okay? Right here, first Quilt Shop in the trend, down, up, down. Trapped X box, cluster, mini magnet for the short. Okay? Notice, I keep saying first Quilt Shop in the trend. Okay? Let's talk about the obstructions. Don't trade into stacks, like 3 levels of anything. Don't trade into the top or bottom of ranges. Do not trade after the first coil in a run. Up, down, up, or down, up, down. Okay? Do enter close to the beginning of a new trend if you can. Like I said, this one back here, like that was right there, the close of a new trend. So it's going down, and you're always going in the direction of the new trend. So the question that came up was, does the entry need to go in the same way? We're about to get to entries. All right. DR and double clusters don't matter. DR and double clusters don't matter on elevators. Okay? Now here's an example. This trade happened to work, but it is not what you're looking for. Okay? Notice how we had a big cluster, like this went up and then it went down, and we had a big cluster right here. We didn't get not a big cluster. We had a big coil chop, or we had a chop right there. Like there's a coil chop, there's another coil chop. Do you see that? One coil chop right there, another coil chop right there, and then this is the third coil chop. Now this technically is an elevator. It has a cluster, it has a mini magnet, it has a trapped X box, and it did happen to win, but that's a possibility trade, not a probability trade. We don't really want to take them after there's already been a cluster in that direction on the trend. So if you've already had, not a cluster, there's already been a coil chop in that direction on the trend, you don't want to take it after that. Does that make sense to everybody? If you've already had a coil chop, don't take one after that. They're not the best setups. It doesn't mean they won't work. Everything works at least half the time. We're going for better than half the time. So if there's already been coil chop in that direction of the trend, don't take the next elevator if there is one. Okay? Now, where do you get in? You're going to get in one tick below the low of the third bar on a short, going with the trend, or one tick above the high of the third bar on a long, going with the trend. So in this right here, you got down, or you got up, down, up. You're getting one tick above the high of this bar. Okay? Yes. And then right here, you got up, down, up. So we got one going down. Now we're going up. One tick above the high of this bar. Right here, we got down, up, down. One tick below the low of this bar is the entry. Right here, you got up, down, up. One tick above the high of this bar is the entry. That's with all the trades. Just being very thorough. Down, up, down. One tick below the bar is the entry. So now let's talk about the exit. The exit is the stop is going to be above the high on a short or below the long or below the low on a long of the setup bar. Take profit 2 bars from the low on a short or 2 bars from the high on a long of the setup bar. Okay? So, looking at the examples. We got our entry here. We got our stop, a tick below the low. And our initial take profit is 2 bars higher. Now, can you learn how to trail with this? Can you learn how to use simplicity to trail? Where you can have a greater reward ratio. Yes. Should you first master being able to get the setup right and at least learn how to get your 8 ticks so you're getting the right trades? If you can't get the sniper short range, you aren't going to get the sniper long range. Okay? So we got up, down, up, buy right here, stop right here, take profit, 2 bars higher. Okay? Over here, we got a down, up, down, enter right here, stop right here, take profit, 2 bars lower. I do make sure it breaks the high. 1 tick below the low or 1 tick above the high for an entry. 1 tick below the low or 1 tick above the high for the entry. And then 2 bars below the low for a take profit or 2 bars above the high for a take profit. Right here, up, down, up, entry, stop loss, take profit. Down, up, down, entry, stop loss, take profit. Cover. If there is a level right before your take profit a tick before the level. Okay? And you'll use the same ATM on this as you use on other sniper trades. And the ATM formula is actually pretty simple. It's just take profit is 1 tick minus the bar size. Stop loss is 2 times the bar size plus 1. Okay? So the opportunity, as you learn to target levels, such as if you've taken the sharpshooter all-in course, we talk a lot about how to target and how to trail. We go into a lot more depth than just simplicity. That helps you see a lot more things. Okay? Then you can learn to master reading the charts. You can look for entries and possibly trail it. All right, y'all want to look at this on the charts? All right, let me pull a chart up. 1 second here. So we have made and released, if you open the toolkit on your desktop, you ought to see an Apex icon on your desktop. If not, you can just search Apex Toolkit inside your search box on your Windows and open it up and click install and install the latest version. We now have an elevator detector and we have elevator alerts. Okay? So let's go ahead and go in and do that. And I'm going to show you where it's at. So first thing, on the institutional order prints right here, on any template, you can go up to where you see elevators. And what I do is I have my settings set to mini magnet or paw. And I have my cluster set to on bar before or setup bar. And then I put my voice alert to true and I put my confirmed alert to true. Okay? So everybody got that mini magnet or paw and cluster on bar before or setup bar. With the live voice alert is like the heads up alert, and then the confirmed alert is once it actually closes. So it'll give you another alert when it's actually happened. So one is like a potential and one is a confirmed. Okay? Then I can scroll down here to Apex Diagnostic Live. And again, you have to update your toolkit to be able to see this. Elevator detector. Add it on. And click OK. I have a few days on this chart, so it'll take a second to load up. Okay. And now what it will do for me, there may not be a zillion of them, but what does it work? What do we talk about? We talk about every play is like another club in your bag, right? So by the way, we only covered a very short period of time, but each club for, if you're playing golf, you have clubs for, the sandpit, you got clubs for driving, you have clubs for putting. So you have different clubs for different scenarios. We're just going to scroll until we see one. What's your question about NQ and ES, Roger? Okay, so here would be one who went up, down, and then do we have anything in the way that would make us not take this trade? We got an elevator, went up, down, we got a trapped Xbox with a magnet, and we got a, what we have right there, we have a cluster, right? So in between here and our take profit, which would be down here, do we have anything in the way? Well, I see a ZOI, a mini magnet, and a wall. The wall being the biggest one, but I see all three. There's a mini magnet behind that wall. It's sort of hard to see. But you can see how it gets thick? Like it starts being dashed. So do we take them into stacks? Okay, so now, do you see a reason to not take this trade? And could you have seen that from this side of the chart? Looking right before it even happened. Okay, so this is the big job, is analysis, right? And that's why I want to get y'all focused with the new Markets Plus thing we're doing with the master template, because it'll help you focus on the analysis and not the trade. Because then if the trade happens, it just happens. You're like, oh, that's not an invalid one, so if I had an elevator up here, I would just turn it off. Okay? So let's keep going. But that saved us some money right there just by paying attention to the stacks. Analysis helps you keep the money. Automation helps you make the money. We did not have a lot of elevators today on NQ. I was wondering if I should have looked at ES. Nice double TX there. Oh, there we go. All right, so we're going up, we're going down. Down, up, down. Do we have something in our way again? Yeah, same obstruction, that wall. Does anybody in here take any trade into a wall? Okay. So did that save us money by just using some analysis? All right. I'd like to get some that actually take, but hey, you know what? I'd much rather not take a losing trade. We may flip over to ES. It has a lot more clusters than NQ does, or coils than NQ does. I think somebody had a question about ES anyway. All right, we're at 9:30. Y'all want to look at ES? Do a little bit more review. Okay. Let me grab my ES chart over here. All right. Yeah, there could be some big moves after double clusters. So now we're going to go in here, and especially after double TXs. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to go into my order prints. I think this is good just to review this. So mini magnet and paw on bar before and setup bar. And then go down to the Apex Diagnostic Live elevator detector. And then click OK. So somebody had a question about whether they wanted 1800 something, and I guess the answer would be no, because it would have picked it up. ES doesn't make as many bars, so it'll move a little faster. It's a nice double TX from last week's webinar. All right, let's see. What do we got going on here? So we've got this double TX short. Okay, so this is a really good example. No matter which way you want to slice it. But we do have an up, down, up. But if y'all were looking at this, I just want you to look at it from... What do y'all see right here? Okay, so you see a stack. Do you also see like a rangy chop? Do we trade at the bottom of ranges? I got a range right here, here, here. Okay. And this is important because this is where you're going to get killed on these if you're not paying attention to this stuff. Yeah, I mean, was there a trend to reverse off of? It went down 3 bars, up 2 bars, down 3 bars, up 2 bars. Was there any trend to counter trend? Okay? This is what kills people. Do y'all agree that like coil, like the chop can be your worst enemy in trading if you don't identify it quickly? You're just like, oh, an elevator, take it. If you saw this and you had an elevator MP on, what should you do? Turn it off, right? So we get our down, up, down. We're not in a trend, but even looking at it, we got all these paws. We also have a ZOI. Like everything's in the way. Okay, there's literally 3 paws. I know it's probably hard to see them on your end, but there's 1, 2, 3 paws right in front of the thing. Okay? Let's see if I can. Y'all can see it better now. Y'all see the 3 paws? Right there. Okay, so would you take that trade? It's sort of funny. It's not. You can tell I'm not pre-planning all this. But I mean, you only got 2 bars, and the biggest thing is you got 3 paws in your way. Okay. Now we got another one over here. This one actually went down a few bars, up a few bars. Only has 1 paw in the way. We got a down, up, right? We got down, up, or up, down, up. Nothing below it, but do we have a bunch of stuff above it? Do we have a mini magnet? Do we have a ZOI? Do we have a paw right above us? So do you want to take them into 3 stacks? This is so, I mean, like, completely not the way I plan to do this. But I think sometimes it's better to see this stuff, isn't it? On a training? Because that's the stuff that kills you. Is like not noticing that until after the fact. So it's sort of good that we're getting a lot of these examples. I mean, that's like 4 trades that between the 2 markets, 4 or 5 trades that we seem not to take. That's money in your pocket because you didn't take them. Okay, here's another one. Like I said, we get more on ES. All right, so got a downtrend, got an uptrend, got up, down, up. We only have 1 mini magnet in our way. We have a trapped Xbox with a mini magnet. We have no Quilt Shop happening before it. Can we take that trade? Yes. Would it be more ideal if it was earlier in the trend? Yes. But we can still take the trade. Okay? At least it was a nice clean down and a nice clean uptrend. And we only have 1 thing in our way. It goes up. And notice, I mean, it only moves like 4 more bars, but we only needed 2 of the 4. So we're still profitable. We're still a good trade to take. I'm just aware it's like, hey, it's probably this one. Would you expect that one to take off? Being that late in the trend. So you're going to probably be more focused on just scalping that sucker instead of trying to trail it? Yeah. I'm just trying to walk through every scenario I can with you to try to help you see sort of things how I see them. All right. So here, now this is interesting. It's moving up. We got up, down, up. We're way up here, okay? Do we have anything in our way on take 1 that this is clean of a trend, like I talked about? Like, is that a clean trend? Came down, we had a pullback, went up. Not as clean of a trend, but let's look at what's in the way. We have a paw, which you can barely see. I can see it over here on the right side of the chart. You got settlement, and you got a ZOI in the way. You're just above the flux, but you have a paw, settlement, and a ZOI in the way. So, do we have a stack in our way? So do we take the trade? Stacks, no trade. Okay. How much money, like, literally has that saved us? I mean, quite a bit so far, right? Okay, so we got an up, and now we have a down. Up, down. Now, the trade worked, but should we have taken that trade? Oh, that's a semi-count. Up, down, up. Right, so down, up, down, right? No, because we got a paw. We have a mini magnet. We have a wall. We have a ZOI. It's stacked up like crazy. Okay, we got an up move, we got a down move. Down, up, down, cluster, trapped Xbox, paw. Only one paw on the way. Can we take that trade? Yes. All right, let's look at this one. Can you even tell what direction that elevator should be going in when you look at this? Like, that's sort of, I think that might be a helpful thing to think about. If you have to think about which direction the elevator is, then you're in chop. Does that make sense? If you can't just go, oh, we're in a long here, we're in a short here. So yeah, I mean, it's just like up 2, down 3, up 1, down, right there. So technically, that's a short. But can you even tell? Yeah, I can tighten these up for you. There you go. But if you're looking at this, you're like, well, am I up or down right now? Okay? And if you can just recognize these pieces, it will make such a massive difference. Now, by the way, some people will, that's all the data I've loaded on there. Some people will actually put these live detectors all on the exact same panel. Like what they'll do is they'll go in, like Lori does this. She goes down here to her live detectors, and she'll go in and she'll make it like, let's say her TX. We'll just say she makes that one orange. And then on her elevator, let's just say, since it has to have a cluster in it, make that one, actually we'll make it gold. Okay, and then all you got to do is change the panel. Right here, we change the panel to 6. Click OK. And now, you scroll across. Sort of hard to see between the yellow and the orange, but you can tell now you have both of them on the exact same thing, so you don't have to take up as much room on your chart. ES is probably going to have more elevators. NQ is probably going to take off. All right, so hopefully not only did you learn when to trade the elevator, when to enter is always easy. Okay? Anybody can learn when to enter in 5 seconds. When not to enter is what takes the paying attention part, right? So I hope tonight y'all not only learned when to take elevators, but you learned when not to. Would y'all say we drove that point home today? David, it'd be whatever panel you have the other one in. You just got to check the panel number of the one that you want it on. Exactly. The entry is the only thing you control in trading. All right. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that training. Wasn't too long. 35 minutes right there for the second part there. And a question on this, is this automated? Wait until Thursday. Be on Thursday and find out. The answer is yes. On Thursday. I'll show you how. Okay? So go ahead and register for that webinar. I trade ES and NQ in the evening. All right, I'll see y'all then. Y'all have a great day, and let me know if you have more questions inside the room.